From shattering tremors to raging wildfires, California has been the battleground for some of the most catastrophic events in history. Get ready to hold your breath as we delve into the incredible stories of survival, heroism, and resilience of the people of California. Number 1. 1994 Northridge Earthquake. Imagine a world where the ground beneath your feet suddenly starts to tremble, buildings crumble, and the air fills with the sound of shattering glass. This is the reality of earthquakes. With a magnitude of 6.7 and lasting only 20 seconds, the 1994 Northridge earthquake in San Fernando, South California was nothing but unimaginable destruction and chaos. The damage to buildings, roads, and other infrastructure was significant, with estimated cost of repairs reaching billions of dollars. But its impact went far beyond just physical destruction. A devastating death toll of 57 deaths and over 8,700 injuries. This disaster left many families grieving, and the lives of thousands were forever changed, leaving a haunting memory to the survivors.
Were hit hard. The State Beach Cafe crumpled. The beach deserted. You couldn't drive there. And besides, for residents of Los Angeles, this was certainly not going to be any day at the beach.
Amidst the rubble and destruction, the people of California rose to the occasion. They came together, supported one another, rebuilt their communities, and forged a new path forward. Number 2. 2018 Camp Fire. The Camp Fire of 2018 will forever be etched into the minds and hearts of Californians as one of the darkest, most destructive moments in their state's history. Its arrival was sudden and merciless, engulfing entire towns in Butte County within hours of its initial spark. The inferno spread with alarming speed, fueled by bone-dry conditions and relentless winds that transformed it into a colossal monster, swallowing everything in its path. Homes, schools, and businesses fell before the relentless onslaught of flames, leaving nothing but smoldering ruins. Families fled for their lives, with nothing but the clothes on their back and the weight of uncertainty and fear pressing heavily upon their shoulders. And as the blaze continued to rage, claiming lives and tearing apart communities, the people of California watched in horror, powerless to stop the devastation.
You need to get the out of here.
Hey guys!
4 people made their way to the strike team truck, including Eva Walker.
Hey guys!
The aftermath of the Camp Fire was a desolate and harrowing sight, with over 18,000 structures reduced to rubble and more than 153,000 acres of once vibrant land left barren and lifeless. The human cost of the disaster was catastrophic, with 85 souls lost to the unforgiving flames. This grim toll placed the Camp Fire among the deadliest wildfires in the world, standing as a poignant reminder of the immense power of nature and the need for greater measures to protect against its fury. As Californians banded together to face the overwhelming challenges that lay ahead, they did so with the knowledge that their lives would never be the same. Number 3. 2020 North Complex Fire. The North Complex Fire of 2020 is another haunting reminder of the sheer destructive power of wildfires and the devastating impact they can have on human life and its environment. This disaster began in August and quickly spiraled out of control, spreading with terrifying speed through the Plumas National Forest in Northern California, fueled by fierce winds, scorching temperatures, and bone-dry conditions. As the inferno blazed through the forest, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake, residents of nearby communities were forced to flee for their lives. And yet, the fire continued to rage, consuming over 318,000 acres of land, leaving behind a barren and desolate landscape that was once teeming with life. The North Complex Fire was a disaster on a scale that California had never seen before, with 2,400 structures destroyed, including homes, businesses, and schools. By the time it was over, it burnt an incredible 4.1 million acres. The loss of life was staggering, with 31 people perishing in the flames, leaving behind grieving families and shattered communities, struggling to come to terms with the devastation that had befallen them.
To the North Complex West Zone fire. CAL FIRE changed the name last night after it merged with other fires. 10 people have now died, more than a dozen are missing. More than 67,000 acres have burned. The containment on this newly named fire is only.
The impact of the fire was felt far beyond the immediate vicinity, as dense smoke covered vast areas, causing air quality to plummet and blanketing entire cities in a thick haze that made it difficult to breathe. In the San Francisco Bay Area, the sky turned a surreal shade of orange, casting an otherworldly glow over the streets below. The effects of the smoke and air pollution were far-reaching, with researchers estimating that hundreds of additional deaths occurred in cities across California as a result. For Californians, the scars of this dark moment in history will always be present, a testament to the indomitable spirit of the human heart and the power of community to rise above even the greatest of challenges. Number 4. 2021, the Dixie Fire. California was on the brink of a disaster when the Dixie Fire struck in July 2021, leaving a trail of destruction. It was an absolute horror show that spread across Northern California like wildfire, with no end in sight. The Feather River Canyon area of Butte County was the epicenter of the inferno, fueled by high winds, low humidity, and extremely dry conditions. The fire was a raging inferno that quickly grew into one of the largest wildfires in California's history, unleashing a reign of terror that would be felt for miles around. As the flames licked the sky and the air grew thick with smoke, thousands of residents were forced to evacuate their homes and flee for their lives. Panic and chaos were rampant as people's $540 million, and questions were being raised about the potential involvement of Pacific Gas and Electric, adding further turmoil to an already embattled utility company.
Right here, I think we can still save it.
The Dixie Fire was a catastrophic event that left a mark in history as the second largest wildfire to ravage California and the biggest fire to strike the United States this summer. The impacts of climate change have turbocharged the intensity of extreme weather events such as storms, floods, and wildfires, leaving behind widespread devastation in their wake. The scale of the destruction was mind-boggling. The Dixie Fire consumed over 1 million acres, an area larger than the combined size of New York City, Chicago, Dallas, and Los Angeles. The impact of the fire were far-reaching and long-lasting. One person lost their life, a tragic reminder of the dangers that come with these kinds of disasters. Despite the heroic efforts of firefighters and other first responders, the fire raged on, leaving countless families and communities struggling to recover from the catastrophic event. Number 5. The 2023 deadly rainstorm. 2023 has been a nightmare for Californians, as a massive winter storm swept across the state, bringing chaos, destruction, and tragedy in its wake. For some, the storm was merely an inconvenience, but for others, it was a matter of life and death. Several towns and communities are buried under layers of snow and ice. The scale of the disaster is overwhelming, with emergency declarations issued for more than 2/3 of California's counties. The destruction is catastrophic, with homes, businesses, and entire communities reduced to rubble. Death toll continues to rise, with at least 19 people losing their lives to this ferocious storm. As if things couldn't get any worse, the state is bracing itself for another round of rain and snow, with the possibility of an atmospheric river system hitting the area. This could unleash a devastating flood of epic proportions, as the recent snowfall in the mountains could rapidly melt and cause widespread flooding. As Californians hold their breath and pray for mercy, the future remains uncertain. But one thing is for sure, this natural disaster has left an indelible mark on the state's history, one that will be remembered for years to come.